Hello everyone, this is Akob, and welcome to What Do I Think About Wednesday. Guys, let's jump right in. Today's topic, what I'm going to talk about today is again a very different topic from usual. I'll be talking about my favorite TV series. It's from HBO. Can you guess it? Is it Game of Thrones? It's not. What? Oh my god, mind blown. No. It's the show Silicon Valley that I wanted to tell you about. And basically the reason I think about it now is that the new first episode of season 3 aired yesterday. I think Sunday or Monday, I'm not sure, but it aired recently. And so I went to HBO Nordic's website and saw that you could basically have a subscription for a month without paying anything, and then you could, if you didn't like what you saw, you could end the subscription prior to the month ending, and then you wouldn't have to, you weren't bound, you wouldn't have to pay in the future or anything. So you basically could have a free month if you didn't appreciate it, or you'll have to pay afterwards. But that's fair, right? I mean, it makes sense. Anyway, so for that reason, first episode of the third season, which was awesome. Silicon Valley. Yes, such a great show. All right, so Silicon Valley is my favorite TV show. And just to make a short summary, it's basically this guy who is sort of nerdy, brilliant, but also kind of a nerve wreck in a way. He's a very special kind of individual, but on many levels and in many ways, very, very relatable. And he's a really awesome and cool, funny and awkward character all in one, kind of. And yeah, so the show is basically about him and some other guys in a house, and he gets this idea for an app, and then that sort of evolves into him getting his own company, and then him trying to run said company and trying to make things work, where every time something succeeds, he gets like 10 new problems that are like way larger than any single one before. And it's just, it's the most fun, it's probably the most funny, serious plotline TV show that I've ever watched. It's so hilarious, and every episode is worth watching. Like, it's not like there is some stretch episode that's just like shit. It's all good. It's all great. It's all awesome. So, anyway, I've been watching Silicon Valley since season 1, where I found it almost by accident. It was like, I saw the picture and I read the synopsis, and I was like, okay, that sounds interesting. I'll watch an episode, and I was just hooked. I was just like, this is awesome. And I kept watching. And then the second season, like, I found it kind of late, so the second season like came out almost right after I finished the first season, and then I watched it like per episode as it came out after that time, and I was just the thing about Silicon Valley is that it's funny, it's got an epic story, it's got epic characters, and it's not just funny because the story is kind of funny in the way they deliver it. The characters individually are funny. Like, they all have their special kind of humor about them and things that you'll find fun about them. But adding to that is also the relationship between the characters that just makes it even more funny. Example, there are two characters, one called Guilfoyle and one called Dinesh. And these two guys have a messed up relationship. Like, it's really weird. They both work as developers or coders in this company under with Richard, and one of them is like, he's a Satanist. He is an illegal immigrant from Canada. He's an interesting individual, and the other one's like somewhat stereotypical nerd Indian guy. Actually, he's Pakistani now that I think about it. But yeah, that's like, they treat him like a Middle Eastern. Like, they use that kind of joke on him. But these two guys are like best friends, like they're BFFs and arch enemies at the same time. It's like one time you'll see them trying to rip each other's heads off, and then 5 minutes later you'll see them go together to fight something else or agree on something totally random and fight some other individual. It's really, really weird, and it's a hilarious dynamic between those two. Yeah, well, Silicon Valley, yeah. So, anyways, Sorry, it's because it's like the wind's going crazy, so I heard like a door or something. Not sure what the hell happened. It's a loud noise. But yeah, Silicon Valley. So awesome. So anyway, Silicon Valley is my favorite TV show because it keeps me entertained every single episode. Not only the characters, but also the struggles and the way they react to the struggles is also very relatable. For example, this first episode of the 3rd season, Richard, right at the end of the episode, like there's this huge dilemma because shit is like gone, or stuff's gone to shit, or whatever that expression is. Like it couldn't get any worse at this point. It's pretty much the worst thing that could happen happens to him, and he's in a pretty much impossible situation here. Where on one hand, he'll have to swallow his pride in like the most humiliating fashion you can imagine, pretty much, as an owner and creator of a company. And on the other hand, he'd have to bail out and like retain his pride, but let go of everything that he'd built. And then in the end, she's like sitting there, and he's like, and you're sitting there as well. Oh my god, fuck! I don't want that to happen, but that cannot happen either. Should you do this? And then he's like, he does something right at the end, and you're like, oh fuck! And he's like, fuck too. And you're pretty much sitting the exact same way because it's just so you're just so in the series. It's so good. It's the only series I know where it's consistently super funny. Every episode. There's always jokes, there's always stuff that's gonna get you. You're always in the story, you're always totally involved. You're always excited about the characters, for the characters. It's such an epic series. It's the only series for me that has it all. Okay, it doesn't have dragons. Fine, Game of Thrones, you win on that account. But everything else, it has everything. So, if you guys haven't watched Silicon Valley, watch Silicon Valley. Where can you watch it? You can watch it on HBO, Nordic, or just HBO. I'm not sure. It's probably just HBO in other countries, I'd bet. Or maybe it's called something else. Anyway, if you are living in a northern country like me, then you can get an account for 30 days by signing up where you won't have to pay. And if you don't like it, if you just cancel it before the end of the first month, you don't have to pay after that either. So you can basically have a free month of watching HBO, which is not only Silicon Valley, it's also Game of Thrones. Possibly the best show definitely the best show right now, from a common consensus standpoint. And possibly the best show ever. Like, it's so fucking good. I mean, to me, I have very niche, favorites. Also in anime, I have, if you ask people who haven't and have watched anime, what they think about my favorite thing, they're like, what the fuck, dude? That doesn't even belong on the top 10, top 20? Where does that come from? How can that possibly be your favorite show? I don't know. How can you like Silicon Valley more than Game of Thrones? I don't know. I just do. It's a favorite of mine. But anyway, if you haven't, you can do that with HBO. If you're not 18, you'll probably have to go through your parents. But, if you're pretty much telling them, hey, we can watch this stuff for free for a month, and if we don't like it, we can cancel it before the month's gone, and we don't have to pay, and now we know whether we like it or not. It really shouldn't be that hard to sell, to be honest. But hey, actually, this is not obviously, considering the views and stuff, it's not a promotion for HBO, it's just, HBO has my favorite shows, so it's the only way to recommend you to watch the shows is for you to, use the site, really. So anyway, yeah, Silicon Valley, favorite TV show for many of the reasons that I mentioned before. Super funny, epic storyline, great characters, great character interaction, great story progression, great everything. Just freaking epic. 10 out of 10 IGN, MLG, all that stuff. Yes, watch Silicon Valley, please. Please, for the love of God, watch it. Yeah. I guess that's about it. I'll probably dedicate an episode to talking about the other shows that I mentioned Game of Thrones right now, I'm only like 3 episodes into Billion, I think. Billions. So I won't do a review of that in a while. And I don't want to do, I'd like to sort of spread it out, you know, not do movie, Wednesday after Wednesday. So I'll try to, Game of Thrones will be there at some point, I think. I'm pretty sure. But anyways, guys, this has been Akob. I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday from here on forth. And I will see you on the next Wednesday, which is, I don't know the date. Why did I even go there? Anyway, I guess it would be a good ending note here to just say, once again, watch Silicon Valley, guys. Come on. You gotta watch it. It's so good. And that's all I got to say about this, for now at least. So I will see all of you beautiful travelers on the road.